We're turning a $2 billion company into a $380 billion powerhouse. That is Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, speaking plain truth about the massive transformation she has led. And if that does not get your attention, she goes even further, saying, "We see a $1 trillion AI opportunity by 2030. Today we are breaking down her CNBC interview, showing you exactly what she said, and giving you my take on why these numbers and her vision matter for investors, tech, and the future of AI. I'll play the clip first, and then we'll dive deep into what Lisa Su's words really mean. Hit the like button, share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you do not miss the next big financial update." Now let's hear what Lisa Su has to say.
AMD hosting an analyst day yesterday. It's the first time in 3 years. The chipmaker says that revenue growth will expand 35% a year over the next 3 to 5 years, and the company's AI data center is expected to grow at 80% a year and potentially hit tens of billions of dollars in sales by 2027. Joining us right now is the AMD CEO, Lisa Su. A note on this, AMD's stock up phenomenally. You can see since she took over, 589%. Lisa, I think when you took over, this was a $2 billion market cap. I think today it's above $386 billion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's counting?
Well, it's great to be here with you guys this morning. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you, too. Last week, you had earnings that came out that beat all expectations, and yet the stock actually declined. I think people were waiting to see what you said at the Investor Day. They liked what they heard, especially when it came to the revenue, the annualized growth that you're expecting, 35%. I think most people were looking for closer to 30%. Predictions are hard, though, especially about the future. And I guess the big question is, what makes you so confident?
Well, first of all, it was a great day yesterday. It's always nice to sometimes take a step back from just, what's happening on a quarterly basis to really talk about long-term strategy. And it has been, as you said, it's been 3 years since we've hosted an analyst day. But what we thought is, there's been so much that's changed in the market just over the last, 12, 18, 24 months that we kind of needed to kind of just take a step back and talk about the company as a whole. And frankly, we're in just an amazing cycle for, technology and specifically around AI. So, back to, the major points, the market is accelerating at a pace that we, just did not understand until, over the last few years. I think we started a couple of years ago, we thought, the AI accelerator TAM might be, $300 billion, and that sounded like a really big number. And then each year we took it up. And now when we take a step back, we see this massive opportunity, really over $1 trillion, overall market as we get through 2030. And it's a place where everybody needs technology. Think about it as you can think about computing as equating to intelligence. And if you can get more intelligence, why wouldn't you want more computing? And that's kind of the market that we're in. And so, from that standpoint, we're really excited about what we have. It's a product portfolio, it's a set of partnerships, but it's also a vision for where computing is going in the future.
What makes you so sure of that demand? What do you see that makes you think not only that this demand is going to be big, but that it's real and that it's not going to disappear?
Well, Becky, we spend a lot of time in the ecosystem. And, being in this industry for as long as I've been in this industry, over 30 years, I think you see a lot of cycles and you see, a lot of technologies take off. The key is what people are saying as they're actually utilizing the technology. So we work with all of the largest hyperscalers in the world, all of the largest enterprises. And if you looked at, sort of the AI trajectory over the last couple of years, I think people started with tremendous excitement. ChatGPT came on board. Everyone was like, wow, this is pretty good. And then enterprises started using it. And frankly, the early enterprise usage was a little bit slow. People were kind of just trying to figure out what to do. But if I tell you what we've seen in the last 12 months, we've seen every one of our largest customers say, we can see the inflection point now, Lisa. We can see, demand is accelerating because people are now starting to get real productivity out of the AI use cases. And, we have all of the largest hyperscalers in the world saying they're investing more in CapEx because they can see the return on the other side of it. So it is something that we always are looking for the signals in the market. But the signals in the market right now say that we're still at the very beginning of the technology, but you're starting to see significant productivity improvements.
Do you really think that they can see the returns on the other side? Or do you think there's a little bit of a big gamble going on, which is to say that there's a bunch of them will tell you quite openly, look, I'd much prefer to be ahead than behind, meaning ahead than behind. I'm worried that if I don't invest enough now, I won't have enough capacity later, but I can't necessarily fully math out how it's going to work out on the other end either.
I don't think it's a big gamble. I think it's the right gamble. And the way I would say it, Aaron, is we can also definitely see that more computing and more investments equate to a faster pace of innovation. I think that's definitely there. I think you can also see all of the pointers to more productivity and more capability. Now, exactly timing of ROI, right. If you're talking about is it 12 months or 24 months, I think that's where it becomes a little fuzzier. But I would say that, look, our largest customers are extremely disciplined companies, and they have the balance sheets to invest. And this idea,
I'll give you an example. The one that everybody talks about is OpenAI.
Yeah.
So OpenAI in 2028 is expecting to lose $74 billion. By the way, they have $13 billion in revenue right now. I believe that's the number. They believe that between 2028 and 2030, that they will all of a sudden become a profitable business. So they have to make a swing from a $74 billion loss. Something magical has to happen in the course of 24 months. So the question I would ask you, as somebody who, by the way, has to think of them to some degree as a customer / creditor of sorts, how you think about that math.
Yeah. So again, Aaron, I would take a step back and say, when you look at the entirety of what the AI, sort of technology companies are, you have the largest hyperscalers. You have, I call it the AI native leaders like OpenAI, Anthropic, others, and what the underlying foundation is the same. They all need computing. Now, relative to your comment about OpenAI, I think OpenAI is a phenomenal company. I mean,
I do too. I use it every second. I love the business. I love what they're trying to do. I'm trying to understand the math.
Let's start with the vision, and then we'll come to the math. When you look at the math, the vision will say you need more computing. That today, computing is a limiting factor in how much people can adopt AI, and you can see that in a number of different places. And so, yes, you have to invest ahead of the curve so that you can get the entire user base on there. But if you just take a look at the growth in users, and not just at OpenAI, but across the entire AI ecosystem, we're seeing that growth. And we're seeing that growth because there is true productivity coming at the other end of it. And from that standpoint, I think we are all, like I said, we're disciplined business people, but we see an incredible opportunity in front of us. And absolutely, if one has the capability to address that with a fantastic balance sheet, you would absolutely do that.
Let's talk about your plans for AI data centers. You are scaling pretty rapidly. You see the growth there in terms of revenue being greater than 80% over the next several years, and potentially getting to have more than a 10% market share in that business over the next few years. To do that, you're going to have to go through NVIDIA, because by some estimates, they have more than 90% of the market share right now. What's your plan for doing that?
Well, I would say, once again, this is an amazing market with tremendous growth. And whenever you have a market that is, let's call it, early in the cycle and also on a steep growth curve, it really favors innovation and it favors partnership. From our standpoint, technology roadmap, we're super excited about the new products that we're bringing out. We have our MI350 series currently in production. We have a big step up with new rack scale architectures coming next year. What we also have is a really strong set of partnerships. Aaron mentioned OpenAI. We have partnerships with Oracle, Meta, all of the large hyperscalers. And the key in this type of market, Becky, is that everybody wants to have sort of multiple solutions. And frankly, there's no one solution that fits all. You can see with different workloads, you're going to want to have the best technology for each one. And we do believe we will have a significant piece of this market. I think between large hyperscalers, enterprises, as well as sovereign nation states that are out there building large data center installations. I think we are an excellent option, and we've talked about some of the key partnerships to do that.
This video is brought to you by Value Stocks Investing Master Course. If you're looking to grow your wealth by investing in solid, undervalued stocks but not sure where to start, I created the Value Stocks Investing Master Course to teach you how to identify great companies, make smart investment decisions, and build a portfolio that lasts. Click the link in the description and pinned comments to get the course today and take control of your financial future. So, let's get right into it. The interview starts with a look at just how far AMD has come under Lisa Su's leadership. When she took over the company, AMD's market cap was around $2 billion. Today, it's sitting above $380 billion. And that's a growth of almost 600%. The hosts even pointed out that since 2014, when she became CEO, the company's stock performance has been nothing short of phenomenal. Lisa Su was on the show to discuss AMD's Analyst Day, the company's first in 3 years, where they made some ambitious announcements. AMD is projecting 35% annual revenue growth over the next 3 to 5 years, and its AI data center business is expected to grow 80% a year, potentially reaching tens of billions of dollars in sales by 2027. That kind of forecast immediately raises questions, and the interviewer asked the key one: what makes her so confident? Lisa Su's answer was straightforward but revealing. She said that the Analyst Day was a chance for AMD to step back and look at the big picture rather than just quarterly results. It's been 3 years since they held one, and in that time, the market has transformed, especially with the explosion of artificial intelligence. She explained that the AI revolution has expanded faster than anyone initially predicted. A few years ago, AMD estimated that the AI accelerator market might reach around $300 billion. That was already a huge number, but as adoption has accelerated, that estimate has tripled. Today AMD sees a total addressable AI market exceeding $1 trillion by 2030. She compared computing power to intelligence. The more computing capability we have, the more intelligent our systems become, and she posed a powerful rhetorical question: if more intelligence means more capability, why wouldn't everyone want more computing? That's the foundation of her optimism. It's not just about products or partnerships, it's about the direction of the entire computing industry. When pressed on whether this demand is truly sustainable, Lisa Su pointed to AMD's experience working closely with the biggest players in the world, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, and Google. She's been in the semiconductor industry for over 30 years, and she's seen technology cycles come and go. What gives her confidence this time, she said, is what she's hearing and seeing directly from customers. When ChatGPT first launched, there was a wave of excitement, but early enterprise adoption was slow. Businesses were experimenting, trying to figure out how to use AI effectively. But over the past year, something has changed. Lisa said that all of AMD's largest customers now tell her the same thing. They're seeing real productivity gains from AI, and the demand curve is steepening fast. These companies are investing more in capital expenditures because they now believe the returns on AI are tangible. In her words, we're still at the beginning of this technology cycle, but it's finally showing measurable improvements in productivity. The interviewer challenged her again, asking if all this investment might just be a massive gamble. After all, some companies admit that they're spending heavily on AI just to make sure they aren't left behind, even if they can't fully predict how it will all pay off. Lisa Su's response was that it's not a reckless gamble, it's the right one. She explained that more computing and more investment naturally lead to faster innovation. The timing of return on investment might be uncertain, whether it's 12 or 24 months, but her point was that AMD's biggest customers are financially disciplined organizations with strong balance sheets. They can afford to make these bets, and they're doing it because they see where technology is heading. Then the interview shifted to one of the most debated topics in AI profitability. The interviewer brought up OpenAI, saying that projections show the company could lose $74 billion in 2028, even though it currently makes around $13 billion in annual revenue. For OpenAI to swing from a $74 billion loss to profitability by 2030 would take something extraordinary. Lisa Su's response was calm and measured. She said it's important to understand the vision before getting caught up in the math. Whether it's OpenAI, Anthropic, or the major hyperscalers, they all depend on computing as the foundation of their business. The real constraint right now isn't lack of demand, it's computing capacity. There simply isn't enough infrastructure to meet the growing appetite for AI applications. She said investing ahead of the curve is essential. If companies wait until they fully understand how the returns will play out, they'll already be too late. The user growth across the entire AI ecosystem is undeniable, and those users are generating real productivity outcomes. That's what keeps this cycle moving. Lisa described AMD and its customers as disciplined business people who recognize a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and if a company has the financial strength to invest in that opportunity, she said, it absolutely should. The interview then moved on to AMD's plans to expand its AI data center business. The company expects to grow revenue in that division by more than 80% annually and capture over 10% of the market within a few years. But that means going head-to-head with NVIDIA, which currently dominates the space with over 90% market share. 𝗗𝗟𝗏 acknowledged NVIDIA's lead but said that the AI market is still in its early stages and growing rapidly. In her view, early-stage markets reward innovation and partnerships. AMD's strategy, she explained, is built on three main pillars: a strong technology roadmap, deep partnerships, and product diversity. On the technology side, AMD is currently producing its MI350 series accelerators and preparing to launch new rack-scale architectures next year, which she says will be a major step up in performance. On the partnership side, AMD is working with nearly all major hyperscalers, companies like Oracle, Meta, and others. Lisa emphasized that in a market this large, there's no single one-size-fits-all solution. Different workloads require different types of hardware, and AMD's goal is to deliver the best technology for each unique use case. That's how she believes AMD can carve out a meaningful share of the trillion-dollar opportunity ahead. The key takeaway from 𝗗𝗟𝗏's interview is her long-term vision. She doesn't see AI as a temporary boom, she sees it as the next great computing era. This isn't about chasing hype, it's about building the infrastructure that will power the next decade of technological advancement. Lisa's leadership style reflects patience, discipline, and boldness. She knows that timing the market is impossible, but positioning the company for where the market is headed, that's what matters most. AMD's journey under her leadership is already one of the most remarkable turnarounds in tech history, and if her projections prove true, the company could play a major role in shaping the future of artificial intelligence and high-performance computing. So, when you listen to her talk, you can feel that quiet confidence. 𝗗𝗟𝗏 isn't just predicting growth, she's building it, and her message is clear: the AI revolution isn't slowing down. In fact, for AMD, it's only just beginning. If you want exclusive stock tips, in-depth analysis, real-time trade alerts, and free investing guides, join the Stocks Galore Patreon today and take your investing game to the next level. Our members there get full in-depth analysis on most of these stocks I mention here. Head over to patreon.com/stocksgalore and become part of our growing community of smart investors. Link is in the description. Don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next important financial investing update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.